gorgeous Aries. I hope you guys are well. It is lovely to be with you. Thank you for being here. And this, of course, is your reading for mid-July 2026. Aries, very interesting vision. I simply saw someone looking with a microscope at an amoeba dividing. One turned into two, and then the two divided as well, became four. And that's where the vision ended. It was really, really simple. So very clear message, Aries. You, I feel, may be deciding to split one into two. You may be deciding to do this, Aries, because it simply makes sense. You could be in a property. You may be thinking, okay, it's time to rent out the side of the property that I don't use. Or you could be deciding to turn a shed on your property into a tiny, tiny one-bed holiday home, rent it out. You may be, Aries, deciding to sell off land for a profit, splitting your property in half. So you keep the house, but you sell off the land. If we're looking at finances, Aries, you may be taking a lump sum in one account that hasn't done very much interest-wise and split it, so some of that money goes into a higher interest savings account. You are somehow, Aries, turning one into two. I keep hearing because it makes sense. So guys, I don't know what this is going to be, but we'll find out, okay? The deck that I'm using is the divination deck. If you guys want a private reading, I'm still offering 50% off private readings, which is a really good deal. If you are interested, my website's down below. Just give me 48 hours to get back to you. It's quite a busy time at the moment. All the decks are listed and the link is there to join the channel as a member. Okay. Aries, let's just see what this is. So Archangel Michael, what do we have for Aries, please, in mid-July? I'm now seeing somebody looking at a cake and they're thinking, okay, which portion should I cut here? A small portion, a larger portion? Should I go 50-50? Whatever this is, Aries, you are seriously considering the amount that you wish to split, the amount you wish to save, the amount you wish to sell on. Okay. Yeah, you're carefully going to be looking at this, Aries, whatever this is for you guys. Very important is what I'm hearing. This is a very important decision. Okay. All right. So we have the Knight of Wands. This is you wanting to get moving. This is you wanting to get going, Aries. And you are coming up with a plan. King of Swords. You could be talking to somebody relating to paperwork. This could be you talking to your bank manager. You could be looking at signing a document pertaining to putting money into a long-term investment scheme. You could be getting your house valued. Okay. In the past, Aries, Queen of Pentacles. All right. This is you looking at one whole. Queen of Pentacles. Looking at one whole. Looking at a property with a lot of land. Looking at a substantial amount in an investment scheme, maybe. But it was just one. It was just one. Okay. After that time, Aries, there was a bit of a lightning strike. You might have had a shock. It might be that you put a lot of money into a scheme, but you recognize that the interest wasn't accruing. You might have had a bit of a wake-up call. Oh my gosh, you know, why have I sunk all my money into that saving scheme? They're not giving me anything. I need to make better use of that. It could be, Aries, there might have been issues with the house. It might be that if you own a house with land and then maybe a property adjoining your land was bought by someone that you didn't get on well with, noisy neighbors, or maybe, Aries, this is you thinking about the future. You know, I don't need this house with all this land. It might be this is you as parents and you're thinking about your kids. I don't know. But there was some kind of lightning strike which made you have to reconsider what you've been doing up until this point of time with an investment, whether or not this is a property, whether or not this is a lump sum of money. You're getting serious about this now. In your thoughts, Aries, we have the Two of Swords. You might have been sat in denial for the longest time. You might have been sat thinking, I don't really want to take charge of this because it's going to be time consuming, it's going to be a hassle. But as time ticked on, Aries, you might have had this thought niggling the back of your mind, I have to do this. This isn't benefiting me, I could do more with this. That was what was on your mind. In the immediate future, guys, the Page of Cups. You might be wanting to talk to a younger water sign, or you could be thinking about your child or children in this. What is the best course of action to secure my child or children's future? In your fears, Aries, the Four of Swords. For some of you, you may be feeling now is the time, because if you are getting slightly older, this is you thinking, I want to make sure this is done, so I don't have to think about this when I'm in my 70s or 80s even. If you are slightly younger, Aries, you may be thinking, you know what, I can't get this off my mind. I have to take charge of this now. What you may be fearing, Aries, is just sitting, not doing anything. And then maybe there's another lightning strike, and then you may feel stuck. You may be slightly nervous. You want to get on with this. Whoever is in the environment, yes, Scorpio. Whoever's in the environment, Aries, is agreeing with you, or this is someone who is talking to you about major change and transformation. In your hopes, Aries, the Four of Cups. Hoping that you do this the right way, hoping you're not going to be disappointed in whatever decision you make. And the outcome, oh gosh, Aries, the Sun. Wow. Guys, this is lovely. This is you very glad that you would have made this decision. This is you, Aries, looking back, thinking, I'm so glad I took charge of this now, because you're going to be able to relax. You're going to be able to sleep well at night. You're going to be able to feel as if you've done the best thing possible for you in your situation. Yeah, guys. Yeah, this is you really pleased with yourself that you would have taken charge of this. Clarification for you guys, the Fool. Okay. And the Strength God. Aries, you have been holding back from taking what you might have felt was a bit of a risk. You've been holding back from doing this. What you're recognizing now is it isn't a risk, it is actually essential. Or this is something that you really need to think about seriously now. Whoever is sat in the energy of the Death card could simply be a Scorpio you're talking to, or this is someone discussing major change with you. Their energy is the Seven of Wands. Okay. All right. And the Eight of Wands. Aries, I don't know who this is, but this is someone who might be raining on your parade. This is someone who may be saying to you, well, hang on, this is a very big deal, Aries. Are you sure you want to do this? Is there any risk involved? And what you seem to be saying to them, Aries, is, well, actually, it's more risky in keeping holding back from doing this. What you're saying to this person is, I actually think this is the best course of action, right? Underneath the deck, yes, Aries, you've been standing at crossroads, thinking about turning one into two, dividing one into two somehow, okay? I think with a Queen of Swords, you're either a masculine, having to try and persuade a Queen of Swords. We have a King of Swords here too. Or Aries, you're coming through as a feminine, sat in your logic. This makes sense to you. Now, the obstacle is whoever this person is, sat in the energy of the Death card, is a little bit reticent to look at this. And it may well be Aries because they really don't want to face any changes. They're very happy sitting in the Nine of Cups. This is somebody who really doesn't want to have to delve into this. But Aries, I think this is you with your head screwed on, male or female. And what you're saying to this person is, it's time to really look at doing this. So this is a big deal, guys. This is you maybe selling off land attached to your house, or this could be you selling one large property and buying two smaller properties. This could be you, Aries, taking a lump sum of money that's done nothing for you over the last few years and finding a really good high interest savings scheme, and you decided to transfer a portion of that money into another account. So rather than having one account, Aries, you are managing two, okay? You're getting a higher rate of interest. All right, people, should we delve in? Archangel Michael, tell us about the Knight of Wands and the King of Swords. You're wanting to get going, Aries. You may be seeking legal advice. You may be going to see a financier, okay? You may be going to see a realtor. Yes, because with the Nine of Wands, Aries, you've been feeling as if you weren't managing the situation in a proactive way. You were just sitting there, right? You were just sitting there. Nothing was happening. Yeah, nothing was happening. And this is you maybe going online, doing some research, realizing, Aries, that what you really wanted to do was end a cycle of you sitting feeling a bit nervous and moving into a beautiful new cycle. This has been playing on your mind, guys. This has been playing on your mind. Yes. And you're stepping into the energy of the Magician to manifest a very big change. Lovely. Tell us more about the situation for my Aries. Tell us more. The Page of Swords, yeah. So Aries, this has been instigated because you might have received a difficult message of truth. It could be this is you simply looking at your bank statement thinking, wow, I've got quite a lot of money in that account. The interest is minimal. Wow, this is you looking at this thinking, gosh, I could do so much more with the money I've got, right? I need to look at moving this. I need to split this amount of money. You might be realizing, Aries, that something is changing in your environment. I don't know. It could be, Aries, you've got land attached to your house, but on the borders of that land, they are building brand new houses, and you're thinking, I'm not going to have any privacy for much longer. I should sell that piece of land, and then at least I've gained a little bit of extra money from that piece of land, because it might be devalued once all those houses have been built. Whatever this is for you guys, there was a challenging message of truth, and you did a little bit of research, and what you recognized was, I need to take action here. I need to take action. Okay, people, interesting reading. Interesting reading. Yeah, Aries, this is you looking at options. This is you looking at options. What can I do here? What can I do? So guys, in the past, Queen of Pentacles, I think this is you, Aries. This is you thinking, well, I've got money in one account, but it's not earning very much. Or I've got a lovely home with land, but the land is just sitting there. This is you contemplating getting savvy for your future, guys. Because you began to realize that unless you took action relatively soon, you could lose out, right? The Moon. Yeah, you began to feel slightly nervous. Well, things are good right now. I'm lucky enough to have a house with a big plot of land, or I'm lucky enough to have a large sum of money to invest. But you began to realize that you weren't managing this as well as you could. You weren't getting very much from this. It was just there. It was just there, right? Yes, I mean, this is you a bit nervous in splitting one into two. A bit nervous, right? Oh, do I really want to do this? Is it going to be a disaster? Is it going to work out in my favour? You were thinking about taking this whole and dividing it, but very nervous. Very nervous. Yeah, because this might have meant you had to sign a legal document. And I think, Aries, you were used to doing things in a very traditional way in the past. Well, I've got a nice house with a garden. Why make any changes? Or, well, I've got this lump sum of money invested. I don't know whether or not a new investment fund is going to be better. you know? I mean, this is you thinking in the past, Aries, I should do something, but you stuck with what you knew. You stuck with what you knew with the energy of the Hierophant. After that time, Aries, there was a lightning strike. There was a shock. There was a shock. Okay. And you might have begun to think about your family, your kids, your savings, right? Inheritance. Whatever this was, Aries, this is you thinking, I really need to prepare for the future. I really need to get serious about the future now. Yes, because you might have been looking in the past thinking, I should have handled this investment very differently. Or I've got a beautiful house, but I've got a huge amount of land attached that's not done anything. It's just sitting there. It's a waste. And this is you considering that change. It's time to make use of the land. It's time to divide the property. It's time to find a really good investment, which is going to give me a higher rate of interest. This is you simply looking back at the past, considering your finances, Aries, thinking, I made some mistakes in the past, right? So here you are, Aries. You have been sat in denial. What you're thinking about is, blindfold is off. I've got to really look at this properly now. I can't keep burying my head in the sand. I've got to do something. I've got to do something. You have been considering this for quite a while, Aries. Yeah, yes, with the energy of the Hermit. You may also be thinking of a Virgo. It might be you feel a Virgo is going to stop you from doing this. I don't know. Temperance, Sagittarian energy, yeah. I mean, what you might be recognizing is nothing's going to change unless you take action, as in nobody's going to do this for you. Nobody's going to nudge you to do this. You have to do this yourself, okay? You have to do this yourself. You've been sitting in a temperate place in the energy of the Hermit for just too long. And you're doing this, Aries, because you simply want to make the most of what you've got now, because nobody knows what the future's going to bring, right? Yes. You know the truth, Aries. You know you need to make the most of what you have now, and somehow that entails splitting this into two. Now, it might be, Aries, because you simply feel that you would be lessening the risk factor, okay? Ultimately, whether or not this is a house with land, whether or not this is a lump sum of money, this is about you preserving your finances, making sure you stay in a stable place going forward. So this is a very important decision, guys. In the immediate future, we have you either thinking of a child, or Aries, this is you saying to whoever this is who's being a bit defensive, they don't really want to do this, or look at this. What you're saying to this person is, I am sorry, but this simply is the right thing to do. This is the right thing to do. You may even say to this person, we should have done this before, but we didn't. Maybe you were too busy. Maybe you had duties and responsibilities. Maybe you didn't know what you wanted to do with the money that you'd invested. But what you're recognizing now is, since I've got this, whether it's a house and land, whether or not it's a lump sum, you need to get more from it somehow. But the person in the environment, Aries, is not really wanting to look at this with you. Now, this could be somebody that you own this money with, okay? Could be a joint investor, could be simply your partner. This could be, if you own a property jointly with somebody, this is the person that owns the property with you. They're not terribly excited. You're communicating with this person and they're putting up boundaries thinking, wow, okay, this means major change. They're not very excited, guys. So Archangel Michael, when do we have the Page of Cups and the Death card for my Aries? Thank you, Michael. The 10th of September, he's pointing forward to the 27th of September. September is when you are going to do this, because this may take some research, Aries, right? If it's anything to do with a property, You may be selling off land. It's going to take time. You're going to have to get the house valued, the house and the land valued. What if you sell just the land? What value would that have? You may be researching various investment schemes, life insurance schemes. You need to do a bit of research. So I'm not surprised that September's come through. So this may give you a few weeks, Aries, in order to dip your toe in the water and to seek advice here. Let's have a look at this person. They're not happy with this. They're not happy with this. Yeah, they're sitting in a slightly nervous energy. Aries, no, no, no. I don't think we should make any changes. I think we should just hang on to everything the way it is. They're not looking at the future, Aries. They're very worried that somehow this would be a massive mistake. You're there talking to this person about your children's future or your child's future, or you're there saying to this person, I'm really sorry, but I really thought we need to do this. They're not happy, Aries. Yes. They're a little bit sort of, okay, well, we'll talk about this at some other time. Yes, you know, I do care about you, Aries. I do want to support your decision, but it's as if they are preoccupied, or it's as if what you're realizing is they're not really interested. They're sort of waving it away as something that might be a crazy idea or something that might be a bit risky. But Aries, you're seeing things differently here. This would be a sensible suggestion. That's what you're saying. I don't know. What is this person's energy? Tower. Could be a Scorpio. I don't know. Whoever this person is really worried about a tower moment. Well, Aries, what if we sell the land and then land value rockets in price and we've sold it for next to nothing? Or what if we, you know, take our hard-earned money and split it into two accounts, but one account dives or something happens to the other account and we lose money? They're just sat in fear, guys. And it's normal, right? It's normal. A lot of people just don't like change because it's familiar, because it's easy to stick with the familiar. But the thing is, things are changing. Life is changing. The way we manage money is changing. The way we look at properties and our stability, it's all changing. And Aries, you may feel as if this person's somehow stuck in a prehistoric age where they do not want to look at any change. And it might be frustrating. Okay, yeah. They know, Aries, that they are facing Judgment Day because they're recognizing that you're right. The divine may even be judging this person for being very defensive and saying no. Because it could be you're receiving advice here from the angels, and the angels are saying, Aries, this is very important, and what you're considering is the right thing to do. What is the major issue with whomever this is? What is the major issue? Okay. I don't know, guys. They may like to boast about the fact they've got a house with a lot of land. It might be ego. It might be they enjoy telling people, oh, yes, I've got this house and I own all this land. It could be something to do with ego, status, keeping up with the Joneses. If this is a large amount of money, Aries, they may be feeling victorious in knowing that they've got that as a sort of very big security net. And Aries, they want to keep it that way. They want to keep it that way. Leo energy for some. They may even be a little bit cross with you. Oh, Aries, for goodness sake, why are you talking about this? We don't need to do this, surely. Guys, who is this person? Who is this person? Oh, so Aries, this is a King of Pentacles who likes to feel the ground beneath his feet. This is somebody who likes the fact that he's a landowner. This is somebody who likes the fact that it's all nice and neat and tidy, tied up with a little bow. It's sitting in that account. It's nice and safe. But Aries, what you're saying is, well, we need to look at this because, yes, the money's nice and safe, but it's not earning us anything. It's not working for us, right? So you are saying to this person, I'm sorry, but we need to think about the kids or our child, or I'm sorry, but this is the right thing to do. You feel a bit guilty, Aries, putting pressure on this person. You do feel a bit guilty putting pressure on this person. What you're thinking about is, Aries, you need to take control of this sooner rather than later, you know? Yeah. I think, Aries, you've been looking at the past, almost sitting in regret. We could have done so much with this land and we just sat on it. We could have rented it out, right? We could have sold it on before. We could have done something with it. What you're saying to your King of Pentacles is, it's been a waste. It's just been such a waste. We now need to get savvy about our finances, about our future. We need to think about our kids here. What you're saying to your person is, you've been up in your head about this for quite a long time. We made some mistakes in the past. We should have managed our assets in a more intelligent manner. You're putting pressure on this King of Pentacles, Aries. It's time. Yeah, what you're saying to your King of Pentacles is, look, we have to think about our kids. We need to prepare for our kids' future. Otherwise, they're not going to have any money. You may be thinking, maybe you could sweet talk this King of Pentacles. You know, if you're a wife, you may be cooking your King of Pentacles a beautiful meal. Come on, darling, we need to talk about the house. We need to talk about the land. We need to talk about the investment that we've got in that bank account. But this is someone quite rigid in his thinking. And that is the issue, Aries. That is the issue. Yeah. What you are saying to your King of Pentacles is, we have a big asset here, whether or not it's a house and land, whether or not it's a large sum of money, but you are not managing that asset in a way that it would work for you. It would bring in more money. It would become a bigger asset. You're just sat on it. You're just sat on it. But you're dealing with someone a little stubborn, guys, in the nicest sense. Could be a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, because he's sitting on, you know, this lovely asset or this beautiful house with grounds, or I don't know, could even just be half an acre field. He likes the status, or he simply doesn't want to make the change. Can't be bothered. It's going to be too difficult, too taxing, too complicated. Oh, I'm going to have to look at paperwork. No, I'm going to have realtors in my house. No. I mean, this is someone who just wants everything to remain the same. Aries, you're far more future thinking here. What is the energy between you two? The Star. Yes, yes. What you are saying to this King of Pentacles is, you want to feel relaxed as the years tick by. You don't want to sit there thinking, gosh, we made a massive mistake, or we should have made use of what we had earlier and we didn't. There may also be a suggestion, Aries, that you might want to heal a situation that might have involved children. We've got a lot of page energy here, and money. Now, what you're fearing, Aries, is because you're dealing with somebody who's quite fixed in their mindset, what you're fearing is your King of Pentacles is simply going to say nope, and that is it. And somehow, Aries, you need this King of Pentacles say so. You need this King of Pentacles to agree, right? What you're hoping, Aries, is he's not going to dig his heels in and continue to resist the idea. But the outcome, guys, is the Sun. Now, this is happiness. This is forward movement, expansion. This could be you, Aries, simply getting a yes. This could be your King of Pentacles initially saying, no, really don't want to do this. Yeah, no, I'm not happy with this. And then there could be a turnaround, Aries, and he might say to you, you know what? I didn't want to look at it before, but you're right. Maybe we should do some research. Maybe we should look at this seriously. So, Aries, this could be a big turnaround from your King of Pentacles. So let's have a look at what he is agreeing to here. What is he agreeing to? Ah, wow, justice. Aries, he's agreeing on a legal contract, or he's agreeing to look at different accounts, opening up a different account. There's a legal or financial connotation here. And Aries, you're quite excited about this. You're thinking, yeah, you know, this is the right thing to do. I know it. And finally, this King of Pentacles has said, yes, I can speak today. The Chariot, Cancerian energy, Libra energy, Leo energy. Look at these major arcana, guys. Aries, this is victory and success. This is victory and success, and you're getting moving, guys. You're getting moving. What you're doing is you're moving away from the fear of the Five of Pentacles. You're moving away from the fear of the Five of Pentacles, fearing that if you sit on a piece of land for much longer, it's going to devalue, or fearing that if you don't move a large amount of money into a separate account or split a large amount of money, the money's not going to work for you, right? Yeah, it's not going to work for you. This is your King of Pentacles finally agreeing. Yeah. Okay. Yes, we have a lump sum of money that you may be splitting. It could be that you're selling off land that's adjoined to your property. It could be you're building on your property, Aries. You could be saying to your King of Pentacles, look, the house would be worth far more if we built an extension. It could even be something like that. It's such a waste because we've got the land not to do anything with it. Yes, it's great to have a beautiful garden, but you may be looking at that garden thinking, it's just there, it's not doing very much. Now, Aries, for some of you, you could even be thinking about moving, buying 2 houses for the price of 1. Of course, that would only be relevant if you're sitting on a house worth a lot of money, but could be the case for some of you. Queen of Wands, Aries, you are taking charge of this. Wow. Queen of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, you are taking charge of this. Yeah, you're coming through as the Empress and the Queen of Wands. Yes, and Aries, your ships are going to come in. Because finally you've got your King of Pentacles to agree to embrace change. Finally. Finally, Aries, he's agreeing to do this. Yeah. You can't make this up, guys. And we have the Six of Pentacles. This is division. This is dividing what you have into 2. There we go. There we go. And this is you realizing, Aries, this was the best decision you could have made. Yeah, guys, beautiful energy. And final card for Aries. Oh, the Wheel of Destiny. So Aries, you were meant to do this. This was all in divine timing. And I think you guys are going to move forward into a beautiful new cycle where you can look back at the decision you've made and say to each other, this was the right thing we did. This was the right thing we did. This is you protecting your money, protecting your assets. This is also you making the most out of what you already have. Okay? Yeah. So here we go, guys. Enchanted Forest. Archangel Michael, may we have your message of guidance, please? Your message of guidance for my lovely Aries, whoever's resonating with this. Raise the bar. Wow. Yes, Aries, you're getting serious. So when you set higher standards for the people and situations in your life, you create space for new levels of joy and abundance. Rise above old patterns. You are saying to your King of Pentacles, we've been managing the situation in a slightly old-fashioned way. It is time to look at new ways of boosting our finances, of making our money work for us, in taking something that we've sat on for God knows how long and turning it into something that is new and exciting and fresh, building for the future or preserving your children's future. Okay? Aries, you are somehow going to be raising the bar. I love that. So guys, I am leaving the reading there. I hope it's helped. If you feel this resonates for you and you'd like a private reading, you can book that with me. Take care of you guys. And of course, I will be back before you know it with your next set of readings. See you soon. Bye, Aries.